So welcome everybody to our workshop, How Her Divine Masculine Came Home, the Divine Feminine Shares All. So my name is Christina Fernandez. I'm a certified ascension coach in Harmonious Twin Flame Union with my twin flame Daniel. And we've got a few panelists today. We've got Keely Lang, who is a certified ascension coach in Harmonious Union, married to her twin flame Colby, and they are the CEOs of Twin Flames Universe. We've got Anastasia Ohm, who is a certified ascension coach in Harmonious Twin Flame Union with her twin flame Ray. And we've got Sage Woodward, who's a certified ascension coach in Harmonious Twin Flame Union with her twin flame Isaiah. So thank you so much for being here today. We would really like to ground in the healing that we're sure will occur during our workshop today by starting off with a meditation by Sage. So everyone can get comfortable, sit back and relax, and Sage, whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
All right, thank you. So yeah, everyone can just begin by closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Yeah, and allow yourself to breathe through your heart center. You can imagine God's loving energy or just love coming through, moving into your heart space as you breathe. And exhaling gratitude and appreciation from your heart. And just give yourself some appreciation and gratitude for you being here in this space, for you sharing this healing with everybody, and for you giving yourself this invaluable support on your journey to being with yourself and your ultimate lover in your full glory and beauty. And now we're going to turn this meditation toward you and toward yourself. So just call into your view in your heart and in your mind's eye, just yourself. Whatever image of yourself that pops up, that's fine. Yourself as a child, as a teenager, a young adult, your current self, however you show up. And just love him or her. Just love them. Yeah. And I just invite you to feel how much all they want, all that you want is just to love yourself and to appreciate yourself. Yeah, and I invite you to allow that love and that appreciation to be enough. Yeah, and continue just to be present with yourself. If there's any parts of yourself who feel any sort of upset come up or any sort of emotion that doesn't feel good to you, then I invite you to just love that part of yourself. Let go of that fear, let go of that sadness, let go of that guilt or shame, whatever's coming up. It's not powerful. You're powerful. So claim your power and allow that to leave you. And you'll be left, you are left with just peace and just love in that space. And I invite you to feel inside your heart, just choose to feel the feeling of romance. can you allow yourself now to feel the feeling of receiving romance in your heart? And do you choose to allow romance into every single part of your life? Do you choose to see that every single facet of your existence is meant to be romantic? It's your romance with love itself, or with God, or with life, or the universe. Every moment of your life is a romance with yourself. And I invite you to make the choice to deepen your romantic relationship with yourself and with your life. And I invite you to see everything in your life as just another opportunity to experience romance, loving yourself. Yeah. And you can also imagine, as you love yourself, you will notice that you feel radiant, or you feel present in love. And you notice that you have the power to also show others what love is, because you love yourself. And it's safe to shine. It's safe to be yourself. You're completely safe in being a shining light for love. Yeah. Yeah. And with that, just allow yourself to just sort of sit with that feeling and let it permeate through your heart. And just let that feeling, you can imagine a light or warmth spreading throughout your heart, filling that up. And then expanding outward through your body, down into your lower chakras, down into your legs and feet, soaking and seeping down into the earth itself. Allowing that energy to come up from the earth, the support that you receive from the earth, and allow that to flow upward through yourself into your heart. And then allow that energy to peacefully move upward. Let the love and the peace and the passion that you feel flow freely up through your heart, through your throat, up into your third eye, up into your crown chakra, your crown. And just allow God's or the universe's energy or love to move all the way up through you and connect you to what is above you and what is higher. Yeah. Just allow yourself to feel that, take some deep breaths, and just enjoy being in that space. And just know that this feeling you had never truly leaves you, and you're allowed to feel this way in your everyday life, and you're allowed to feel this. You're allowed to feel good. Yeah. Yeah. And just take a few deep breaths as we're closing our meditation. And once you're ready, after a few deep breaths, come back into the full awareness of your body. And when you're ready, you can be present with the room, everybody, and open your eyes and come back.
Thank you very much, Sage. That was
You're welcome.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'd like to feel into the energy of the Divine Feminine Collective to help guide our healing today. So we're going to do that with a card reading by Anastasia. So Anastasia, whenever you're ready.
Hi, thank you, Christina. So I drew 2 cards for this reading. The first one is Focus Your Mind. So if you are wanting to be in your Harmonious Twin Flame Union, you can really just focus on that and investing into your union with all the work that we have here in Twin Flames universe. Yeah, because you're meant to be in Harmonious Twin Flame Union. The next card is Don't Hate, Meditate. I think that's really funny because Sage just walked us through that really awesome meditation. Meditating is a really great way to just continually deepen your relationship with God and gain new awarenesses and, heal blocks. It's something that I think pretty much everyone here does, whenever they feel called to coincide with their spiritual work. So, yeah, that is all I have for this reading. Thank you.
Yeah.
Christina.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I really feel that. I feel that it's calling us to really ground into our lives and ourselves so that like everything grows from there, right? So we're going to start off with a few questions for our panelists, and then we'll open it up to the audience to ask questions. So a question for everybody. So how did you each begin your journey? And did you already know your twin flame was your true twin flame when you started? So whoever wants to start here.
I can go first. I started my journey because I wanted to just be close with God. And I did not know my twin flame, but God had led me to Jeff and Shalia. I watched their videos for like a month and then I emailed them. And yeah, through this work, I eventually found my true twin flame, Ray. So yeah, I wouldn't have found Ray without doing this work.
I can go next. Yeah, I began my journey kind of like with a false twin flame experience. Like I knew something was up about that relationship. Like it brought up a lot for me. I was very triggered by it. And that's when I started looking up twin flames on YouTube, and I ran into a few like card readers, did some crazy like unicorn healing and stuff like that. And I didn't really get anywhere with that. And I think I kind of like put it aside for a little bit. And then things started to kind of get more triggering, like the contrast was getting more noticeable in that relationship. And then I started like doing more digging online. And around that time was actually when I met Colby, my true twin flame, but I didn't know he was my twin flame. I thought, he was just my coworker who was very friendly, and we had a lot in common, but I didn't understand that it was something more at the time. So yeah, then as things progressed, I realized he was actually my twin flame, or at least I had a better idea. I hadn't found this work yet, so it was kind of like, I was confused. I didn't really agree with all this stuff I found online. So I wasn't sure like if I even believed in twin flames. So we ended up splitting up, and then during that separation period that we had, that was when I realized like I really need to find my teachers. Like I really need to find what's going on, because the upheaval and like the pain of separation was really hard. So I finally found Jeff and Shalia, and then that's when things started getting way better, a lot easier, and they started making sense, right? So yeah, that's how I started.
Sage?
Yeah, so I started my journey in like 2018, like the very beginning of 2018. I I found a spiritual teacher online because I needed help in my life. You know, I really didn't like my job and I was struggling in it and having psychological, like a lot of pain coming up from trauma. So I found this random spiritual teacher lady online, and after one healing session with this woman, I kind of like called in my twin flame, or like my true love, you know, without being aware of it. But I guess I wanted that the whole time regardless. And I actually met my false twin flame and had all of the feelings, you know, like the typical twin flame, like feelings of just like, this is it. This is like out of this world, and this is like the one, you know. But then he and I got separated, and we had no clue. Neither of us had contact info for each other, and I was like, that's okay. I'm going to find him again somehow. I'm going to manifest him somehow. It's going to happen. But that didn't happen for like 3 months, and I was just like, I really want my twin flame. Like, I don't care how sucky my job is. Like, I want my twin flame. Maybe that will make things better. So I looked online and I found Fabian's videos, and I also found Jeff and Shalia's videos, but I was more like blocked to Jeff and Shalia, and I just looked at Fabian's videos and I got coaching sessions with him, and he introduced me to the community, and he helped ground me into the mirror exercise and the twin flame journey. That's when things started to get better, and I started to love myself, and that's how I started the journey. And no, Isaiah, he came into the community like a few months after I did, but I hardly knew him or talked to him at all until November of 2019. So yeah, it was interesting, but he was there the whole time. I just didn't know. So that's how I got started.
Cool. Yeah, I'll share a little bit about how I got started too. It's pretty similar to a lot of people's stories. I also had like a false twin flame experience where it was somebody that I felt really like drawn to, and we had a lot of things in common. And yeah, I just really wanted to get clear on what was going on and also like resolve it. And like I felt like no matter how hard I tried, like things never seemed to line up there, but I felt a connection. So around 2016, I started looking online for information, and I saw a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of like tarot readings and things like that. And I also saw Jeff and Shalia's videos. They were the only people who were giving actual practical advice for how to like heal your union. Everyone else was kind of like giving like things that, you know, relied on something outside of you, or, you know, like luck or things like that. They were the only people that were like actually like giving you steps to follow and like things to do to really heal your union. And so yeah, I also like joined Twin Flame Ascension School in early 2017, and yeah, joined the community. And yeah, my false twin flame like kept getting further and further away from me. And as I did this work, but I started to feel better and better. And my true twin flame, Daniel, joined the community a little after I did. And like, yeah, we didn't really realize we were twin flames, but we got to know each other and started to work more closely together. And there you have it. So that's the short version. So it seems like we all have a pretty similar story, which is that like there was something that piqued our interest, and it almost didn't even matter what it was, but it was just enough to get you going. So there are many people out there who believe that the divine feminine is the more awakened twin. So I want to ask the panelists, how do you feel about that? And do you feel like you were more awakened than your twin flame prior to Harmonious Union? And what advice would you give to someone who feels like they're the more awakened twin?
I had this block. Yeah, I definitely did. I thought like during the time where it was like, oh, Colby and I are twin flames, I was trying to like convince Colby of that fact, and he was not having any of it, right? Twin flames do not like to be controlled, which is very good. And what I realize now is that he was teaching me how to love myself that whole time. And I thought, back then I was like kind of arrogant. Like I thought like, oh, if he doesn't know about this or isn't even open to this idea, then he must not be awakened. But I didn't have the foundation of love at my core at that time. I didn't have this work which teaches you how to really love yourself. And so I didn't know I wasn't really loving myself, but Colby the whole time was teaching me how to love myself by showing me like I don't need to get love from him and try to make him understand what I don't even really understand. Right? So we were both actually like teaching each other. We were both at the same level of awakening and both learning and growing at the same pace the whole time. And it wasn't until I found this work that I really understood that and could look back at all of our interactions and actually see it from like a humble place, that this was going on, that we really are making the same choices at the core. And if he's showing me that I'm not open to something, like, or he's not open to something, it's just a reflection of what I'm moving through myself, right? Because your twin flame is your mirror. So that's what this work taught me. And once I realized that, I was able to heal myself, and not miraculously, but just naturally, Colby reflected that to me as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you touched on the fact that like you were moving through arrogance. Yeah, and I think like people don't necessarily like recognize that, but it is kind of like a belief, yeah, that's kind of stems from arrogance, and it's something we can just forgive ourselves for, right? Does anyone else have anything they want to mention about that?
So I feel like I have the like false twin flame experience perspective of that, like, because people obviously when they're going through that, they think that that person's their twin flame. And so, I guess what I'm pointing out with that is if you're like doing all this spiritual work and someone is moving away from you, then that obviously means that that isn't your twin flame. So, they like, I guess the awakened thing doesn't really matter in that perspective because it's not your twin flame. So, but it was just something to point out. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I feel like in order to really be able to engage with this journey, you have to have an open mind. I know I personally, like, all the signs were there that my false twin flame was a false twin flame, but like it wasn't until it was like really just put in my face that like I was able to actually receive that information.
Yeah, I also had experiences with that. Just from although again, like I said, I didn't have interactions with my false twin. Um, I guess you could say I was interacting mentally in a way or energetically, just because of the memories I had of him and the impressions I had of him. And sometimes I would just catch myself, thinking that maybe he doesn't meet me at my level in certain places, or you know what I mean? And I was like, no, 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 no. That's arrogance, or I feel like I need to be better than someone else to have a sense of self-value. But I chose to let that go. And no matter, even if you don't know who your twin is or you don't have contact with them, that upset is going to show up. That is going to show up in your consciousness and your reality to be healed. Like, you're going to have that with people where maybe you feel the same way about others. Like, you feel like, they just don't understand, or, it's safe to humble yourself and see what they can teach you and what you can learn from them, and see that everyone's equals in divine truth. In God's eyes, everyone's loved equally, and all of that. And I still have that too with my true twin, Isaiah. Like, I'm still learning to humble myself and learn from him and be a patient teacher as well, so we can have peaceful interaction. And it's really worth it to humble yourself, because you feel so much love, I was showing Isaiah something last night, and it was really fun and peaceful, and I wasn't being arrogant or an asshole. And he was like, I just love working with you. And my heart just bloomed with all of this love and peace. So, because it's love, so make sure to humble yourself and let your twin teach you. Even if you know something that they don't, they're still teaching you to be humble in your knowing, and you know what I mean? So yeah.
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 Yeah, that's a really, really good point. I think people who hold that belief of the more awakened twin, it is an invitation to open your heart to being taught. So yeah, I guess the other few questions. Keely, you're married to your twin flame. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and how does that feel?
Yeah, we are coming up actually on our 1-year marriage anniversary this month, which is really cool. Feels like another lifetime has passed since then. Yeah, because we grow so much together, and we're always helping each other grow spiritually and mentally, emotionally, physically. So it's been beautiful. I love being married. Yeah, it felt like, looking back, before we got married, we were engaged for a while, and we were kind of putting it off, oh, we'll wait until we have enough money to have a wedding. I had this thing in my head, I wanted to invite everybody, the whole community, and family, and but then God was like, you really should just do this for yourself, just go and have fun and get married, because it was feeling it just felt kind of bad, not to be able to call Colby my husband out loud, because I know spiritually that's the truth. And so every time I'd be like, oh, my boyfriend, I'm like, this doesn't match, right? So getting married was the next step for us to really feel more peace in our lives. And yeah, feels very good.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I guess what I can get from that is sometimes when God sets you up to do something, it's better just to do it instead of try to set it up to be perfect in a certain way, because it's perfect already.
Totally. And I think there was a lot of stuff I was working through, believing that I could do it, that it was easy. Like we were both on the same page, wanted to do it, but there was still this like doubt, like, can I actually have this? Can I actually be married to my ultimate lover? Is that possible? And like God was just like reminding me, yes, like that's the truth. This is natural. So there was a lot of like doubt that I had to release as well.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. Releasing doubt is like, I think it's a huge just part of the journey, right? So Anastasia, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with your twin flame union and how your experiences have helped you grow closer to God and your twin flame?
Yeah, so we live together, and basically living together has really grounded the fact that I am responsible for all of my triggers and upsets, you know, because like I think sometimes like, you know, we get upset and like instead of just healing it within, we project it on our twin flame. And so yeah, it's definitely helped me grow closer to God in that regard, because I'm, I guess, becoming more mastered in doing my spiritual work. Yeah, so, and I don't know what else to say right now.
Okay. Yeah, so I had a question for Sage, because in your union with Isaiah, you're both undergoing gender transitions and you're very public about that. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how this impacts your partnership?
Okay, it's huge. I mean, our mission in life on earth is completely centered around bringing love, healing, and liberation to transgender people. And it's such a blessing to have the clarity of what our purpose is. It's so powerful. And we're very clear on how loving ourselves, being closer to our true divine selves, and loving each other is so impactful to the world, because we see how much transgender people in the world are suffering, and everyone is suffering if they're not ascending, right? Everyone's experiencing that, so no one's separate. But we have a passion for helping this portion of consciousness and of humanity ascend and love themselves more deeply. And it's very ennobling for us, and it's very happy. And we love celebrating each other's transition, our successes, growing into ourselves more, and being surprised and delighted by what comes out when we love ourselves and we allow ourselves to be true to ourselves more. It's extremely enlightening, and it really, our harmonious union and living together brings to the forefront how just all of our beliefs about what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman and about love just get brought to the surface, so we can clear that away and receive from God, what does it truly mean to be, you know, ourselves. And it always, like sometimes, you know, in moments in our relationship or like in our romance or our partnership, I'm just like, okay, I surrender to God, like, fuck this, I'm so tired of it. And I surrender to God. Same Anastasia, like taking responsibility for triggers and upsets, and I'm like, I fucking surrender. And then we come together and we have a romantic moment, and like my heart is like fluttering, and I'm just like, I didn't know that this was possible, that I could not have created this myself. I had to let go and surrender to the unknown and trust God and love. That's how I feel about being myself as a woman, because we were both numbed out to who we were. So we're just kind of uncovering it, and it's awesome. So I really recommend it. But you can only do it if that's your life path, to be transgender and transition. So yeah, if you have it, cool.
Well, I think what everyone can relate to is that
Yeah.
you're both uncovering who you really are through your interactions with each other. Yeah, I just have like a quick question before like we open it up to like Q&A from the rest of the audience. But yeah, like what has your twin flame taught you about yourself that you didn't expect? And what advice would any of you give to a divine feminine looking to come into union? It's kind of two questions. But.
For me, it's been the goodness of receiving and allowing yourself to receive love, and just how worthy and deserving I am of it, and how that's that has just as much merit as giving love, basically. And my advice for divine feminines is just completely examine, just let go of any limitations you have on like your worthiness of being loved. And something Jeff said recently was just like, there's nothing you can do to be worthy of love, of the love that God has for you. There's nothing. You just are. You're just created worthy. You just have to accept that. Like, I'm not in control. I humble myself. Fine, I'm worthy of this, and you're just like, then you can experience that love that's there for you. So yeah.
Yeah, I loved that. I would say that the biggest thing that my twin flame has taught me is just acceptance, and that love is love. It sounds really simple, but since we're also a part of the LGBTQ community, I had like a lot come up about that in the beginning, and so like my main advice for anyone going through anything similar is to let go of the past and just really love yourself, and forgive yourself for what you think you have done, because it's all an illusion. But you're always loved by God. So like Sage said, there's nothing you could do to change that. You're always divine.
Amen. Yeah, I agree. That's what I've learned too. It's like, no matter what I think I've done to like mess up our union, it doesn't matter. Like, Colby's always gonna love me. Colby's always going to accept me and forgive me and see me for who I really am. And that is the power of your twin flame. That's true unconditional love. And I didn't know what that was before I joined this school and met Colby. So my advice to anyone looking to be with their twin flame is to actually join Twin Flame Ascension School, because without that, there's absolutely no way I would be here. There's just no way. Zippo. So I tried it. I went there. I did the unicorn healing. Didn't work. Don't do that. Yeah, I would also recommend getting a coach, talking to someone, joining the discussion groups. I was in Anastasia's discussion group when I joined the school. You get to have like a free discussion group when you join. And I think like the first discussion group I joined, like I cleared a huge block, like a literal block, because I had blocked Colby on my phone because I was like so scared of like texting him and being needy and cuckoo that I blocked him to like control myself. And the group was like, what are you doing? Don't block your twin flame. Don't do that. Unblock him. And so anyway, like I had a lot of healing to do there. And I just remember that first discussion group like really well. And the day after that, I had just like felt so light. Like I just released all this heaviness that I was carrying around. And the best part was that I knew that next week at the same time, I could see my friends again, right? Like I developed like friends that I could talk to about this work, which was crucial for me because I didn't have anyone to talk to about this work at the time. Eventually I gave this to my sister who lived downstairs, and she was open to it, and that was really cool. But it was really nice to have like an actual support system so that I could keep accountable for my inner work, and to have people who were going through the same thing as me, just in different ways, and just talk about like what's working, what's not working. We also would discuss the classes together and then talk about what it brought up for us, and it was invaluable. So I highly recommend doing that if you're serious about your journey. And I remember when I joined the one class pass first, and I immediately felt like Colby thanking me, like I had like a dream or something, or I just felt it in my heart, like he was like, thank you thank you for like doing this for our union. And then eventually a few months later I upgraded to the all class pass because I was like, okay, I need to know what else is going on, because everyone was talking about the other classes. I'm like, I can't deprive myself of this. And so I got the money and I upgraded, and literally a month after I upgraded, we went from like no communication to boyfriend girlfriend. So this work works really fast if you are serious about it and you commit to it and choose to go all in with loving yourself and loving your union.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I think we would all say that like we wouldn't be here if it weren't for TFAS. It really just wouldn't be possible. And so with that, I want to open up questions to the audience. So if you're in the discussion, like if you're in this group with us, you can type your questions into the chat box. Yeah, we'll take any questions. I guess in the meantime, I can also share like, yeah, what my twin flame taught me about myself that I didn't expect. I really learned like the importance of like really building a strong foundation. And I didn't really know that like there were places where I thought I had a foundation, but I was actually just taking from myself or like building something that was really ungrounded. So that was really something that when I came into Union that I really was able to learn from my twin flame. And yeah, like what advice I would give to a divine feminine or anybody looking to come into union with their twin flame. Of course, besides what Keely shared of joining TFAS, which is like really the only way to really guarantee that you're going to come into harmonious union. The advice I would give also is to relax and live your life too. Like don't put your life on hold for your twin flame union. Like your twin flame union is a natural extension of you living your life. And yeah, the point is for you to enjoy your life and live your life. And when you do that, you know, and you like choose to like do the things that make you happy, you're in a higher vibrational state, and it really supports you in doing this work so that you can actually manifest, you know, everything that you want. Here we go. Sorry. Are these questions from the last time? Can someone help me?
Yeah, I see one. Actually, the first one's directed at me.
Okay, great.
So I can answer that one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the question is, I mentioned that I had resistance with the twin flame concept at the beginning, and as I was entering the journey, it was reflected back by my twin flame, resisting it too. And so Vicky wants to know, how did I heal this block and resistance? So first thing was I had to find the actual truth of twin flames, because when I first started the journey, I found some like false twin flame teachers, just like doing a quick Google search, and I didn't believe it because it wasn't resonating in my heart. Like what I was reading, I was like, okay, yeah, but it wasn't fully resonating because it wasn't actually the truth. So that was the first thing. I had to actually find my true twin flame teachers, which are Jeff and Shalia, and I had to like heal my resistance to the twin flame concepts, and to, which is really just loving myself and loving God, loving my creator. And once I began healing that, very quickly, like Colby reflected the same healing. Even though he wasn't in the twin flame community of Twin Flames Universe right away, he was actually doing the same healing as me at the core. So one of our first conversations that we had after I joined the school was like, it was like night and day compared to the conversations we had before I was joining the school. We were actually talking about like purpose. We were talking about like our healing and spirituality, and actually like what we were doing to love ourselves. And that was a big sign for me that like it does matter like where you get your information, and that like the work that I'm learning and studying is the truth. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that sounds pretty complete. Ray asks, how would you say you attracted your twin flame home?
Investing in all the work and doing the mirror exercise.
Yeah.
That simple.
Yeah, I think we can talk a little bit about how the mirror exercise like works, you know? So the mirror exercise, it's in Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. Like we all really recommend that you read that book. So like basically the law of attraction is like you are always vibrating in harmony with like everything in your reality is vibrating in harmony with you. So if there's something that you don't like in your reality, you're attracting it through your beliefs. And so the best way to change your vibration is to change your beliefs. And the mirror exercise is a really targeted and efficient way for you to get really clear on how you might be holding misaligned beliefs and bring love there. And so, that's really the core of what a lot of us did to attract our twin flame. Is we healed these places where we weren't loving ourselves, and we chose love there. And by doing that, like we were able to get more clear on like who we really are and see our twin flames more clearly, and be able to hold a vibration of peace, to be able to be in the presence of our twin flames, and like be in union and harmonious union with our twin flames. I don't know if anybody wants to add to that.
I guess I feel guided to add, you need to establish that vibration of peace to be with your twin flame consistently, because it's not compassionate not to have it. It's only compassionate to have a baseline peace in yourself. And like a relationship with Jeff and Shalia, who were the teachers of how to be with your twin flame in this way, in this physical, grounded way on earth. And it's because your twin flame is your ultimate mirror. So they're always mirroring everything to you. So you need to have the level of peace to receive that gift and see the love in it. That it of course, it's only love, But if you don't have that baseline peace, then maybe you see it as like abusive or attacking or something. And it's important to just always recognize it for what it is, which is love, directing you to find places in yourself to love. So that's why you need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like basically, since your twin flame mirrors you, if you if you are holding like negative feelings towards yourself, like that's kind of what you're going to experience coming back from them. And so, yeah, we attracted our twin flames home by choosing to come home to ourselves, to really like love ourselves and love and appreciate ourselves. And then that's what gets reflected back to you. So Shannon asks, can a nonstop 5D communication for years be seen as one of the indicators to know if someone's our true twin flame?
I would love to answer this question. My answer is no, because I've had kind of similar experiences, but even Jeff and Shalia have a video on this. And I remember like being triggered because of what they were saying. It's so funny. But basically, long story short, just focus on the physical reality and what's going on there. Don't worry about this astral realm type of stuff, because that is not how you're going to be able to tell. How you're going to be able to tell is, by doing the spiritual work and then just attracting them into your physical life.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes if you're really, really interested in something or someone, you can kind of like put out like energetic feelers without realizing it and kind of like mistake that for like a 5D communication. So it's best to stay grounded and present with what's being shown to you in your reality, because your physical reality is like the biggest indicator of what's going on within. So Lena says, I have a question. Are there any signs that the union is near?
Your union is always near. It is in your power of choice to have it.
Yes.
There's also a video. I'm going to find that for you and I'll post it. I'll send it to you, Lena.
Great. Yeah, I think something I want to share that like I'm not sure if the other panelists can relate to, but pretty much right before I reached Harmonious Union, I just recognized that really all I wanted was to just be with God, and I just wanted to be happy. And I didn't really care what my like twin flame at the time, who was actually my false twin flame, I didn't really care anymore what he was doing. Like I had to just surrender it, and I was just like, what happens happens, but I'm tired of putting my energy like outside of me like this, and I just want to be with God. So I don't know if anyone else can relate to that kind of feeling.
Yeah, I felt a lot of peace before Harmonious Union. I just was feeling a lot of peace. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, damn, I'm really contented with myself, I love myself, and I would gladly welcome like my twin flame to come enjoy me with me. And so, but there was that, and there was also just the lack of attachment to who my twin flame would be. And I also want to say I had a lot of points on my journey when I was feeling that way more so, and I got really excited, and I was like, maybe Harmonious Union is close. But every time that I had that, I just needed to surrender, and just be like, it's with me right now. The love's with me right now. It doesn't come from my twin flame, because if you have that like anxious excitement feeling, then it's just something to heal inside of you, and you come in Harmonious Union when you're not attached to when it happens because you don't feel like you need it to be happy. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was my experience.
Cool. So Ray asked, what is the difference between union and harmonious union? We can just really quickly define that if someone wants to.
Okay, I will help with that. So union, union is different than harmonious union. You can kind of just even like see it in the title, like union versus harmonious union. Harmonious union is like there's much deeper peace there. You're living your life as one in all aspects. Union is like boyfriend, girlfriend, like you maybe made like a verbal commitment to them. So we came into union first and we were boyfriend, girlfriend, but we weren't living together. We weren't like living our lives as one together until I received guidance from Jeff to get my butt over to the West Coast and live with my twin flame. And it wasn't until like a month after moving in together that we had reached harmonious union. And for us, it felt like deep peace and just like, okay, finally we're here. We're not going anywhere. Like we don't have to worry about separation anymore. So there was a deep commitment to each other and a recognition of each other as each other's true twin flames and ultimate lovers.
Yeah. Okay. So Maria asks, my question is for each of you ladies. You spoke a bit about your journeys and its false twin flames and your transition to HTFU with your twin flames. Do you have blogs or videos about your journeys? Yeah, I think to some extent, we've all shared our journeys. Well, you can see us all in the live classes of Twin Flame Ascension School, except Sage was not a live student, but Sage also has videos and stuff that she's shared on her channel. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment.
Yeah, actually, we have some videos from like right when we started making videos, right when we like moved in together, and on the Twin Flames Universe channel. So if you want to watch lots of twin flames talk about their journeys, you should definitely check out the Twin Flames Universe YouTube channel. There's some awesome videos there, lots of new content, and yeah, you can just like look up on the playlist and you can see us there too.
And we're also in TFAS, so you can get TFAS and see us in there.
Yeah, that's like the best place to learn about people's journeys because there's more time. You know, each class is an hour and a half, so you get like a full idea of the healing that people are doing in the class, and you get to see the progress of people's journeys too.
Yeah, so Salma asks, did you experience telepathy with your twin flame? Was it later confirmed by him as accurate? I can feel this in that, like, my twin flame and I, we experience, like, we kind of like, we're one consciousness. You're one consciousness with your twin flame. And so you'll kind of like want the same things, or you're kind of be working through some of the same things, but we don't have like a conversation telepathically, if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else wants to touch on that.
Same.
Cool. And then, so this workshop is an hour long or an hour and a half?
Or actually, it's at the hour.
Okay. Well, great. So there's a few other questions which we can, you know, if you want to comment on like the Facebook post for this, like we'll be happy to, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that can answer. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for that wonderful Q&A. So you can continue the discussion in our open forum and get more support from any one of our coaches, including any of us here on the live today, by going to www.twinflamesuniverse.com/coaching. So thank you to all of our panelists. And